and welcome to the Bob Stoops app. I'm Brad McMullen along with Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops as we're talking about the big headlines heading into week number 8 and arguably the biggest right here in Norman, Oklahoma. Caleb Williams now number 6 in the Heisman poll according to Caesars Sportsbook, and he's been electric for those last 6 quarters.
Yeah, and you have to acknowledge it. He's been a spark for the offense, whether it be just throws, scrambles, his run game, the ability to, to break tackles or find the right seam and break a long run. All of it together has been really strong, and I think it has a chance to only be stronger. A lot of big games coming, with KU this week, but then, you've got a one-loss Baylor team, you got an undefeated Oklahoma State team right now, Iowa State coming, so the biggest games are on their way, and so he has a chance to continue to move up that way. I don't think anyone's at OU wants to talk about that right now. You just want to win and be as productive and efficient as you possibly can, and I know that's what their focus will be. But we'll see where it goes. It'll be exciting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's been electric watching this go from scoring 7 points in 3 quarters to scoring 55 points and then 50 points again last week. The offense is explosive. The big guys up front, though, are making big holes. And how about Kennedy Brooks?
Great player. Kennedy's a great player, but I don't care. Adrian Peterson, DeMarco Murray, Kennedy Brooks back there, without a line, creating some seams and some holes and giving the guy an opportunity, you're not going to get it done. So the offensive line, tight ends, H-backs are all coming together, doing a better job blocking, giving the running back a chance. And Kennedy's one of those guys. He's sneaky efficient, sneaky good, and he's got great vision and great timing. He's so patient at waiting for the right opportunity and the right hole to open up. And anyway, so he's doing an awesome job, and love that, just the patience even in the last play against Texas. Just waited and then boom, and then he exploded. We're all yelling, get down, and then you're yelling, go, go. I think I was obvious on someone caught me rooting them on, but anyway, exciting to see the offense catch their rhythm running the football. That's going to really help OU down the stretch.
Yeah, I feel like, when you think about the Heisman, most of the times when you're getting to the middle or end of October, you have clear-cut favorites because all of the major candidates from August didn't pan out or aren't having as great a season as we expected them to have. It's really a wide open race. And I would argue there hasn't been a more electric player in college football than Caleb Williams so far this season.
Yeah, just in a couple of games, a game and a half. So we have to, you have to have a bigger body of work. So hopefully that'll continue for him and for OU. But, it has to happen for that to come to fruition.
And you said it best, big games coming up again. Oklahoma State, Iowa State, potential of a Big 12 championship game. A lot of eyeballs will be watching that. All right, so change at LSU. This is another interesting thing. Ed Orgeron announced after the Florida game, the Florida victory for LSU, I might add, that he would no longer be returning to LSU at the end of the season. As always, anytime there's an opening, whether it's at a Walmart or an NFL team or a college football team, this guy's name is mentioned as a possible replacement. Coach, thoughts on being the next coach at LSU?
I'm not asking for that, and I'm not putting my name out there, okay? So I don't know where all that comes from, and most of the time, 100% of the time, I'm not even aware of it until you bring it up or someone else brings it up. So again, that's not something that I'm looking to do. I don't, you fit certain places, and I don't know that I'd be a very good fit at LSU, and I'm sure they know that as well. So again, I can't help if people throw my name around. That doesn't mean, that I'm actively searching anything, that's for sure.
What does LSU need in their next head football coach?
It's hard to say, because I thought Ed Orgeron was the perfect fit after winning the national championship and being a guy from down there, all the history he has at LSU, that, I would have assumed that was going to be the exact right fit. So not being there and not ever being there, it's hard for me to say what would be the right guy.
All right, and looking at other things right now, the people are talking about the college football playoff. We're going to be seeing a ranking from the College Football Playoff Committee coming up here in the next month. You look at the one-loss teams like Alabama, Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State. Who do you like among the one-loss teams?
Yeah, all of those. You got to go Alabama, Ohio State. I saw Oregon beat Ohio State. That was only 3-4 weeks ago. How Ohio State's already in front of them in the polls, I have no idea.
Yeah, or how about Alabama?
How's Alabama one loss to a unranked, 2-loss team with their backup quarterback, and within a week they're all still in the top 4 or 5? I don't understand that when there's undefeated teams out there. I'm not saying they can't work their way back to being a playoff team, for sure.
But right away.
But not immediately. That doesn't make any sense to me. So all those teams with 1 losses, even the ones without them. Michigan looks good. Michigan State with 0 losses. Iowa, we had brought it up, and you got Ohio State, Oregon, all with 1 loss. Good, solid football teams. Alabama, they're all teams that can go on a run and win it all. But let's see what happens. It's exciting. In the parity in the top 10. Really, you could go top 12. Oklahoma State undefeated. Are they in the top 10? They ought to be. I think they are. And Baylor, a 1-loss team, is really good football team. So it's going to be exciting here how it all fit. And there's a lot of these teams are going to be playing each other here in the next few weeks. So great football.
And again, rewinding the clock, a couple of months ago, we sat here and we talked about who you saw playing in the national championship. Georgia and Oklahoma, both of those teams undefeated, both playing really well the last 2 weeks. Who else do you see right now heading into week number 8 making that college football playoff?
We just talked about all the 1 loss and the undefeateds that are all going to be playing each other. I don't know that I can exactly say. I tell you the one that now I'm sold from watching them all this week. Cincinnati. You know what? Cincinnati, their quarterback.
Number 2 in the AP.
Yeah, Ritter, their quarterback, is an athlete. The guy he's so calm back there. He looks like he makes it all look so easy. He can run the football. You think he's going to get caught, and he never does. He can scramble for first downs. They're going to run him occasionally for first downs or for big plays. He really got a great arm. They're solid on defense. They're complex on defense. They do a lot. I worry about that with some better teams. I worry that their secondary can hold up against a really good throwing team because they put a lot of pressure on them. There's a lot of 1 high safety where there's a lot of one-on-one matchups with their corners. But overall, you got to give it to them. They go into Notre Dame and beat them handily. They get behind at Indiana and end up beating them, in a solid way, come back in the second half. So, they're a team that'd be in it, I think have a real chance. And then the others, it's going to Michigan State, we've been talking about them, Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama. Those are all teams that got legitimate shots.
Yeah, the interesting part for me on Cincinnati right now is they're healthy. And you had this experience in 2000, healthy, national championship. Then you had the 2009 team, which had everybody coming back, all the expectations, and then it was like 16 or 17 starters throughout the season out. It changes everything when people get hurt.
I could say it now that I'm not coaching. It's not an excuse. It matters. And in 2000, we were lucky. We went through the whole year, and I think the last game of the year, we were playing with the same guys that we started the year with. It didn't happen in some other years, and you don't want to publicize that, say it a lot, but it makes a difference. There's usually a reason a guy's a starter and a number 1, and the other guy isn't. Yep. That guy's better, So, and if you get that in 3, 4, 5, 6 places, all of a sudden you're not as strong a team as you were when you lose those key pieces. So it matters, and whoever here in this back half of the season can stay the healthiest and have their starters back in the right spots, I think have a better chance.
And the other key to that is it's not just the athleticism of the player, it's the experience. Look at Oklahoma's offensive line. At the beginning of the year, people were like, I don't think the line's very good. Now that they really have their 5 and they're starting to play together, now people are saying this could be one of the best offensive lines in the country. And again, it's by experience. It's about the same guys playing together game in and game out.
You've got to be on the field doing it, gaining that experience. And And it matters, along with your skill and talent, that time on the field makes a big difference.
All right, the last big storyline talking about right now, Washington State is looking for a head football coach. Obviously, one of the big names that is being thrown out is OU's defensive coordinator, Alex Grinch, because of his ties to Washington State, being a former coordinator there. Your thoughts on Alex being mentioned for some head coaching job?
Alex Grinch is a great coach. He's going to be a head coach. I think it's going to be when is the right spot for him. When is the right fit, the right opportunity that works for he and his family. I don't think there's any question being around him. He's got all the makings of a great head coach, and it's just going to be when is the right time. I remember I had some opportunities after my first year at Florida with Steve Spurrier, and I remember thinking coach's talk with me was, he said, Bobby, he called me Bobby, he said, you don't have to just take anything. He said, we're not going bad here. We're going to continue to be good. So wait for the right opportunity, the one that fits you the best. And you got the best opportunity to win. And then 3 years or 2 years later, that was after the first year, there's an opportunity at Iowa and Oklahoma within a day of each other interviews. And fortunately, Oklahoma worked out for me. And
thanks for picking OU, by the way.
Yeah. Well, after 18 years on the job, it couldn't have been, I guess it could have been a little better with a couple more national championships, but
okay.
The rest of it was absolutely the best. I've loved it here, and I was lucky that I had the opportunity. But I think that'll be the deal with Alex, is waiting for the right opportunity, and maybe Washington State is it if they come for him.
And you've had a bunch of coaches, bunch of assistants go on to be head coaches. Did you have that same talk that Coach Spurrier had with your assistants?
Sure.
Just saying, hey, look at the job, look at the resources, and also look at the potential.
Yes, make sure you're not just taking it because you think you're not going to have another one. Make sure it's the right opportunity with the right people, and that you have an opportunity to win and be successful.
All right, Coach Stoops, thank you so much.
All right.
And don't forget, you can win lunch with Coach Stoops. Enter to win right here inside the mobile app, and for videos anytime, 24/7. Just click on our video link. For Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops, I'm Brad McMullen.